Welcome to this week's Movie Math, giving you an in-depth analysis of the box office for the weekend of January 20th, as everyone seems to have woken up from a deep freeze. And I'm talking both literally and figuratively with Underworld Awakening, as Kate Beckinsale's Celine thawed out before a huge audience. Yes, after a 3-year break, the Underworld franchise returned to theaters and picked up exactly where it left off, opening at the #1 spot with $25.4 million. Some in the industry are trying to float the story that the franchise is actually picking up strength, but $5 to $4 million isn't really a headline-making improvement, especially when one considers that Underworld 4 is a 3D IMAX movie, the first for the franchise. And Underworld is not only neck and neck with its own franchise, but posting the exact same numbers as Resident Evil, at least domestically. Turns out Jovovich has consistently outgrossed Beckinsale overseas, and Underworld 4 will have to almost triple its usual worldwide haul to match Resident Evil's own 3D IMAX entry. Nevertheless, Beckinsale, who herself hasn't been in a movie for 3 years, has now had back-to-back $25 million openings. That's pretty impressive for a 38-year-old actress, considering the industry loves to say this is a young woman's town. And Jovovich is 36. Happily, Hollywood still hasn't tried to replace either with an ingenue. Maybe women in film wasn't just a 2011 trend, but an actual change in Hollywood? We can certainly hope so. Another old Hollywood saying that also went out the window this weekend is that a film starring an almost entirely black cast won't make any money at the box office. That's what George Lucas heard again and again for almost 2 decades as he tried to get a studio to make Red Tails, so he finally had to do it himself. And it looks like his gamble paid off as the film debuted at #2 with $19.1 million. That's a bigger opening than recent war flicks like Steven Spielberg's War Horse, Clint Eastwood's Flags of Our Fathers, and Spike Lee's Miracle at St. Anna. But Hollywood is a sore loser, pointing out that Red Tails did much of its business on Friday from school groups going to see the film. Who cares? A ticket is a ticket, and we haven't exactly seen anybody crying foul when other studios have courted church groups quite successfully. Red Tails had the last laugh, though, as it surged 40% on Saturday, showing that there is a genuine audience for the film. The times, they are a-changing, and Hollywood, you better get on board. And considering that this weekend was up 30% from last year, they just might. As for the rest of the box office, Contraband fell 50% from its opening weekend, a surprisingly small number when considering Mark Wahlberg's controversial comments last week in Men's Journal. In his interview, Wahlberg, who was supposed to be on one of the September 11th flights, said that if he had been on it, he would have successfully fought off the terrorists and kept the plane from crashing. Of course, as the internet exploded with rightful disgust and outrage, Wahlberg quickly apologized and said his comment had been taken out of context. It's too early to see if this comment has any long-term effect on his career, but it obviously hasn't had any short-term effect. And speaking of September 11th, at #4 was extremely loud and incredibly close. The family drama, which follows the wife and son of a businessman killed in the attacks, finally expanded to a wide run. And while the flick has been unable to pick up any awards traction, it got the next best thing to the gold, the green. And apparently you have to pick one, as The Artist, which has been winning almost every award there is, including last weekend's Golden Globe for Best Picture Musical or Comedy, and this weekend's Producers Guild Award for Best Picture, saw little of the legendary awards bump. It's still sitting way down at number 17, up to just $12 million. And there are reports in England that audiences have been demanding their money back, unaware that it's a silent film. Is it going to take an Oscar win to help the medicine go down, or are audiences simply not interested in doing the time warp? Finally, the one person whose career still seems to be frozen is Steven Soderbergh. Haywire opened at #5 with just $9 million, and it's not going to get any better as audiences here on BTT gave the film a 6 and over at CinemaScore a D+. But I have a feeling that Soderbergh's upcoming Magic Mike might be the picture to thaw out his career, as it seems to be heating up audiences already. As for this coming weekend, Hollywood is expecting the box office to get a little chillier as The Grey, Man on a Ledge, and One for the Money all hit theaters. But Liam Neeson is full of surprises, and his last 2 action flicks both opened with $20+ million. Katherine Heigl, though, has said that if One for the Money isn't a hit, her acting career is over. And considering her recent box office slide, she's probably right. However, some would argue her acting career was over when she said that her breakout film Knocked Up was sexist garbage, and then went on to pan her hit show Grey's Anatomy. Why does Wahlberg seemingly get away with it when Heigl doesn't? Write your thoughts down below. And that's this weekend's box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.